I felt a sense of determination and a sense that this was meant to be, even though I didn't know how, I didn't know why we had moved down there. I always thought of myself as a Minneapolis boy. But Mankato turned out to be a great place. And the last day of high school, I gave the graduation speech. And as I got up there, I thought about that first day and how bad it seemed and how wonderful it ended up being. And I think finding the right activities for me, I wanted to play basketball. I wasn't any good at basketball, but getting into speech and debate and then youth and government and then everything that happened at Minnesota Boys State, being Boys State governor and going to Washington, D.C. for Boys Nation, meeting the president. That's what ultimately led me to Georgetown. But very much a sense that things happen for a reason, even though you don't understand them. I was walking to school, and there was a guy there, one of the only black kids in our school, Theo, and we both were new to Mankato. He grew up in Memphis, and his mom came up to Mankato to get away from some of the negative things down there. And I came down there because my dad had gotten done with his medical training, and we had very different life stories, but we both came from bigger cities to smaller cities, and we lived 1 block away. And Theo was new to Mankato, I was new to Mankato, and we both were like, man, everyone has all their friends there. And I said, there's so many good-looking women down here, I have no idea what to do with them. And Theo said, well, you're good at talking, you're good at writing papers, you can help me with my papers, and I'll help you talking to girls. We called it this ridiculous thing called popping that Memphis game, that every time Theo would see me in Mankato East at the Mankato Mall, at Hardy's campus, he would yell out, popping that Memphis game. And it was kind of a kick in the butt to get me going to talk to girls, because I literally was scared to talk to them. And there were so many good-looking women down there. I've been all over the world, and I tell people, believe it or not, the best-looking women I've seen in the world probably were Mankato, as incredible as that might be. More than Paris, more than New York, more than Miami, more than Dallas. It was unbelievable. And Theo played such a big role in that. And everywhere I'd go, popping that Memphis game. And so finally, after 4 years of high school, I didn't have any fear talking to women. I was probably a little too bold in some places. But it was such a just incredible experience having him be 1 block away and us becoming, best friends, and the way it all happened. We used to play these pickup basketball games nonstop. And I really wanted to be a basketball player, but I wasn't any good. And I had to go to these speech and debate tournaments, which I actually was good at. And the pickup Saturday morning league, because I couldn't go to the games, they named the team NMCP. And I was like, what the hell is NMCP? And they're like, think about it for a second. And I'm like, oh man. No More Kane Pence is what they named the Saturday Morning League team. So it was kind of a knock on me, but there's a lot of great guys down there, a lot of good times, and we used to just have a lot of fun. When we first got cars, I was 16. I couldn't wait to get my license. To me, a car, even though it was an $800 beat-up Ford Escort, it represented freedom. And I always wanted to go to the road. Just like as I was a boy, I always went to those railroad tracks. Now, I went to the roads of southern Minnesota, and I used to look at that map that my dad made me memorize as a kid. And I said, I can't wait. I can't wait till I'm old enough. It wasn't going to be high school. I could go on some adventures in high school, but until I go off and see the whole thing. And I wanted to see all 50 of those states. Well, it's kind of, there isn't just one story. It's just the freedom that it represented. Going out, seeing those cornfields, and I always rolled the window down, even when it was 10 below zero. I always had fresh air, and I loved country music, and I loved having the window down, and just the freedom that the American car represented. I need to remind myself of that as I'm handicapped and I can't drive anymore. It's been almost 3 years since I've been able to drive, and just the remarkable freedom that America has represented by the open highway, getting out there and seeing this great country. So much fun, so many adventures around southern Minnesota. And when I was Boys State governor, I used to go to these little towns and give speeches at the American Legions, and it just was a lot of fun. I just have a lot of joy when I think about high school and southern Minnesota and everything that was Mankato.